Welcome you to our subject, Integrated Practical Skills. And today, you will focus on writing skills. Our lecture today includes 3 parts. The first part is sentence building. The second part is a writing letter. And the last one is a writing essay. Now, I want you to focus on the first part, sentence building. You will have an exercise and you will finish each of the following sentences in such a way that it means exactly the same as the sentence printed before it. For example, I haven't enjoyed myself so much for years. And rewrite it. It is years since I enjoyed myself so much. Now practice. I want you to rewrite the following sentences. Number 1. I'm sorry that I didn't finish my homework last night. I wished. Number 2. She asked Michael how he liked her new dress. How? Number 3. A chain leaves at 8 o'clock every morning. There is. 4. Nobody can deny that she has a beautiful voice. 8. Number 5. I would like you to help me to put the chairs away. Do you mind? Number 6. The child will die if nobody sends for a doctor. Unless. 7. He would prefer you to pay him immediately. He would. Number 8. The waters were so cold that the children couldn't swim in it. The water was. Number 9. Somebody repaired her car yesterday. C. Number 10. You must see the manager tomorrow morning. You have. And here is your answers. Number 1. I'm sorry that I didn't finish my homework last night. You can use the structures with I wished. I wished I had finished my homework last night. You can change with past perfect, had finished. I wished I had finished my homework last night. Number 2. You can rewrite the sentence with the direct speech. She asked Michael how he liked her new dress. So, how do you like my dress, Michael? She asked. Number 3. A train leaves at 8 o'clock every morning. You can use the structures with there is. So, there is a train that leaves at 8 every morning. Number 4. Nobody can deny that she has a beautiful voice. In this sentence, you can use dummy subject, it, dummy. So, it cannot be denied that she has a beautiful voice. Number 5. I would like you to help me to put the chairs away. So, do you mind doing something? Do you mind helping me to put the chairs away? Tiếp. Number 6. The child will die if nobody sends for a doctor. Unless. It is a conditional sentence. So unless somebody sends for a doctor, or a doctor is sent for, the child will die. Number 7. He would prefer you to pay him immediately. You can use would rather. So he would rather you paid him immediately, or he would rather be paid immediately. Number 8. The waters were so cold that the children couldn't swim in it. So adjective that. The water was not warm enough for the children to swim in. Number 9. Somebody repaired her car yesterday. You can use the structures have something done. So, she had or she got her car repaired. She had or got someone to repair her car. Number 10. You must see the manager tomorrow morning. Rewrite. You have got to see the manager tomorrow morning. Exercise 2. You also have 10 sentences and rewrite it. Number 1. I am always nervous when I travel by air. Traveling. Number 2. He could not afford to buy the car. The car. Number 3. Why don't you put your luggage under the seat? He asked. He suggested. Number 4. Although he had a good salary, he was unhappy in his job. In spite. Number 5. I am sorry I missed your birthday party. I wished. Number 6. They haven't cleaned the streets this week. The streets. Number 7. Apples are usually cheaper than oranges. Apples are not. Number 8. I advise you to put your money in the bank. You'd. You had. Number 9. That restaurant is so dirty that no one wants to eat there. It is such. Number 10. He was annoyed because his secretary came late to work. He objected. tiếp. And now that your answers. Number 1. I'm always nervous when I travel by air. Traveling by air always makes me nervous. Number 2. He could not afford to buy the car. So, the car was too expensive for him to buy it. Or, the car cost more than he could afford. Number 3. Why don't you put your luggage under the seat? He asked. He suggested she should put her luggage under the seat. Or, he suggested that I should put my luggage under the seat. Number 4. Although he had a good salary, he was unhappy in his job. In spite of something or doing something, in spite of his earning or having or getting a good salary, he was unhappy in his job. Number 5. I'm sorry I missed your birthday party. I wished I had gone to or been at or attended your birthday party. I wished and past perfect. Number 6. They haven't cleaned the streets this week. So, the streets haven't been cleaned this week. You can use passive voice in this sentence. Number 7. Apples are usually cheaper than oranges. So, apples are not usually so or as expensive as oranges. Number 8. I advise you to put your money in the bank. You'd better put your money in the bank. Number 9. That restaurant is so dirty that no one wants to eat there. So it is such a dirty restaurant that no one wants to eat there. Number 10. Objected to. He was annoyed because his secretary came late to work. He objected to his secretary's coming late to work, or he objected to the fact that we closed. He objected to the fact that his secretary is coming late to work. Exercise 3. Make all the changes and additions necessary to produce from the following 8 sets of words or phrases, 8 sentences which together make a complete letter. Note carefully from the example what kind of alternations need to be made, and write each sentence in the space provided. For example, I wonder why you not replied last letter. And now you can write the full sentence as follows. I was wondering why you had not replied to my last letter. Now look at the requirement. From 1 to 5 and from 6 to 8. And now these are suggested answers. Number 1. I was or I am pleased to receive or to have received or when I received the parcel you sent me. What a good idea to send me a selection of different kinds of food from or of your country. I enjoyed eating it or this very much. So did my family. I wouldn't be or isn't possible to buy these or such things in England except perhaps in London. As you said in your letter, you would like me to send you a parcel of English food. I have just posted one to you. It will or may not arrive at the same time as or with this letter because it was sent, or I sent it by sea mail. In the parcel, there is information about or on how to prepare and eat the food. Or in the parcel, there is information about or on preparing and eating the food. Love, Mary. Exercise 4. In the following conversation, the parts numbered 1 to 6 have been left out and complete them suitably. Now look at the requirements. This is from 1 to 3. Tiếp. And from 4 to 6. Tiếp. And this is the suggested answers. Number 1. When does the next flight leave? Number 2. Are there any seats available? Number 3. What is the first class fare? Number 4. Can I have 2 first class tickets? Number 5. When can I collect them? Number 6. How can I get to the airport? Tiếp. And now I would like you to move to the second part of the lesson today, writing letter. In your letter, you can write the address of the sender on the top right-hand side and the date. And then on the left-hand side, you can write the address of the receiver, and then opening greeting, and then text of the letter, closing greeting, and your signature. Tiếp. And now how to open your letter. First, you can use some structures to thank for the letter. For example, thank you for your letter. Thank you very much for your letter. It was nice to hear from you. I was glad to hear from you again. How nice to hear from you again. How lovely to receive your last letter. Lovely to hear from you, or I was delighted to hear. How to ask about health or news. You can use these structures. I hope you are well, or I hope you are fine. I hope everything goes well with you. How are you? How is your job? How are things with you? Or giving news. For example, I have just bought a new house. Or I finally passed my exam. Or we have moved to our new house. You also use other structures related to the way how to give the invitations or how to make suggestions. For example, you really must come and see us soon. Why don't you come for the weekend? Of course, you must come and stay with us. To close greeting, you can use the following structures. For example, my very best to you and your parents. All the best. Regards. Best wishes. Love. Lots of love. Much love to you. Yours and yours ever. This for the informal letter. An informal letter. To close your greeting, you can use yours faithfully. If you use dear sir or madam, and yours sincerely, if you use dear and name. Now this is a very clear example of an informal invitation. My dear John, will kindly dine with me and a few friends at my house on Monday the 17th at 8 p.m. I know you play a violin well, and it will greatly add to pleasure of the evening if you bring your instrument with you, hoping that nothing will prevent your coming. Yours very sincerely, Anna Skills, your signature. And another example of accepting letter. My dear Skills, I have great pleasure in accepting your kind invitation to dinner on Monday the 17th. I would be very happy to bring my violin with me. It is my pleasure for the performance to entertain your guest. Yours very sincerely, Henry John. And refusal. It would have been a great pleasure to me to be with you at dinner on Monday the 17th, and to do what little I could do to entertain your guests with my violin, but I regret that urgent business prevents my coming, and I have to leave London for Singapore on Sunday the 16th, hoping that it will be a warm and interesting dinner. Another example of a letter, how to excuse for delay. My dear, I was very happy to receive your letter of January the 1st informing me that you are going to England next month to continue your studies. Please, for not having answers sooner. I have been away from home for 7 days and have been so busy all the time that I have had no time for correspondence. It is not too late for me to wish you a pleasant and a safe arrival in England. That your studies may be successful is the sincere hope of your sincere friend. And non-delivery of goods order. The example. Dear sir, on August the 1st, we sent you an order for hardware, the receipt of which you acknowledge and promise to deliver in 1 week. But now, the goods haven't arrived for more than 2 weeks. The non-arrival of these goods is putting us to serious inconvenience, and we warn you that if they are not sent at once, we will cancel the order and place it with another firm. Yours faithfully. And now practice. You should spend about 20 minutes on this task. You arrange to visit a friend in England, but an important event at home now means that you must change the date of the visit. So write a letter to your friend. In your letter, explain the important event, apologize for the situation, and suggest a new arrangement. You write at least 150 words for this practice. Tiếp. And now I would like you to change into part 3, writing essay. You have some skills to write essays. And now I would like to introduce you the first skill, decode the topic. The first and most important step when writing an essay is to decode the topic to determine what the intended outline is. Writing topics generally give very clear clues about how your answers should be constructed. It is important to follow the clear clues that are given in the topic when you are planning your answers. You probably will not be given much credit for a response that doesn't cover the topic in the way that is intended. Now study the following essay topic. The essay topic. Some people prefer large weddings with lots of people, while others prefer small weddings with only very close friends and family. Discuss the advantages of each type of wedding, then indicate which you prefer and why. Tiếp. As you read the topic, you should think about the organization of the intended response that will be expected by test graders. Your essay should start with an introduction, and that introduction should mention large weddings, small weddings, and their advantages. This introduction should be followed by supporting paragraphs describing the advantages of large weddings and the advantages of small weddings. In the final paragraph, you should discuss whether you prefer large weddings or small weddings and why. This final paragraph serves as your conclusion because it brings together the ideas in the previous paragraphs about large and small weddings. The following is an appropriate outline for an essay on the topic above. Paragraph 1. Introductory paragraph. Mentioning the advantages of large and small weddings. Paragraph 2. First supporting paragraph. Listing and discussing the advantages of large weddings. Paragraph 3. Second supporting paragraph. Listing and discussing the advantages of small weddings. Paragraph 4. Concluding paragraph. Whether you prefer large or small weddings and why. Now the writing topic. Note: each writing topic shows you exactly what you should discuss and how you should organize your response. You must decode the topic carefully to determine the intended way of organizing your response. Now exercise 1. For each of the following writing topics, indicate the type of information that you will include in each paragraph of your response. Topic: what type of novel do you enjoy reading most? Use reasons and examples to support your response. Exercise 1. Introduction. Supporting paragraph 1, supporting paragraph 2, supporting paragraph 3, and conclusion. So what should you do with your introduction? In the introduction, you have to mention the type of novel you enjoy reading most. In the supporting paragraph 1, the first reason you enjoyed this type of novel with an example. Supporting paragraph 2, the second reason you enjoy the type of novel with an example. Supporting paragraph 3, the third reason you enjoy this type of novel with an example. And conclusion, summary of the reasons I enjoyed this type of novel. Now practice 1. Some students prefer to study alone, while other students prefer to study with others. Discuss the advantages of each type of studying, then indicate which you prefer and why. Practice 2. Do you agree or disagree with the following statement? Patience is the most important characteristic in the boast. Use specific reasons and examples to support your response. And now, skill 2. Develop supporting ideas. After you have decoded a writing topic to determine the overall organization of your response, you need to plan how to develop your ideas. You need to provide as much support as possible for the ideas in your essay, using reasons and examples and making your answers as personal as possible. To have an effective essay, you need strong support. Now look at the essay topic. Why it is important to you to learn English. Support your response with reasons and examples. As you read this topic, you should quickly determine that the overall organization of your response should be an introduction, supporting paragraphs about your reasons for learning English, and a conclusion. You should like a few minutes before you begin writing to develop your ideas. Now, in the introduction, my reasons for learning English. Supporting paragraph. For educational opportunities. Examples. Going to university abroad. Going to graduate school abroad. Reason. Necessary to learn English in order to study abroad. Personal story. The opportunity that I have to get a graduate degree abroad with a scholarship from my company. Supporting paragraph 2. For professional opportunities. Examples. Getting an entry-level job in a multinational company, advancing to a higher position in the company. Reason. Necessary to learn English in order to succeed in a multinational company. Personal story. The low entry-level job in a multinational company that I got after I was interviewed in English. Conclusion. The educational and professional opportunities that result from learning English. In this example, there are two main reasons for learning English. First, for educational opportunities and for professional opportunities. Each of these ideas is supported by examples, a reason, and personal information. Now remember the note, supporting ideas. Support your essay with reasons and examples, and personalize your essays as much as possible. The more support you have, the stronger your essays will be. For each of the following topics, develop ideas to support it, using reasons, examples, and personal information. Practice 1. What have you done that has most surprised the people around you? Use reasons and examples to support your response. Practice 2. Some people like to visit new and different places. Why? Others prefer to remain in places they know. Which type of person are you? Support your response with reason and examples. Sure. Which type of person are you? Support your response with reasons and examples. That's all for your lesson today, and thank you very much for joining.